and welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Taliban bans on women leaves Afghan teacher devastated. Residents of the unlawfully occupied Gilgit-Baltistan protest against increased taxation, budget cuts and load shedding. And people in India celebrate Christmas with fervour. Let's begin the show. India, with over 20 separate official languages and hundreds of unofficial languages, is extremely linguistically diverse. Indians are extremely proud of their mother tongues, and their usage has helped in strengthening cultural identities throughout the country. Though adopting English as a medium of communication has greatly helped India thrive globally, increasing success rates of vernacular medium students in the country have highlighted the importance of acquiring knowledge through mother tongues. Let's see what steps are being taken to promote linguistic diversity of the country and how much has it succeeded.
India, with over 20 separate official languages and hundreds of unofficial languages, is extremely linguistically diverse. Indians are extremely proud of their mother tongues, and their usage has helped in strengthening cultural identities throughout the country. Though adopting English as a medium of communication has greatly helped India thrive globally, increasing success rates of vernacular medium students in the country have highlighted the importance of acquiring knowledge through mother tongues. Moreover, research has also shown that when concepts are explained using familiar words and phrases, it leads to improved interpretation. Former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, has promoted the teaching of science to children in their local languages. Further, the new education policy of India has emphasized education in local languages for primary classes.
When people understand more, when they learn more in a better way, automatically any student, when you speak or learn in the regional languages, their understanding, and once they understand more, their mind process thoughts really expands. They tend to be more research oriented, they can be more creative and all this, instead of being little bookish and only on the examination point of view.
As mobile broadband data has now become affordable, more Indians have access to the internet. According to Google's 2020 report on India, about 85% of online video viewers in the country prefer content in Indian languages. Therefore, the demand for content in local languages is increasing day by day. Google also claims that the number of internet users browsing in Indian languages is expected to reach 536 million over the next 4 years. Clearly aware of the trend, the Indian government and various edtech platforms are planning to use the range of linguistic diversity in the innovation space. Tracking the interests of multilingual viewers, edtech platforms are planning to design their content in multiple languages, such as Hindi, Tamil, and Bengali. As far as higher education and research is concerned, science, technology, and medicine are increasingly being taught in local Indian languages. Recently, a medical curriculum in Hindi was launched in the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh by Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah. The decision came as a boon for many Hindi speakers who had aspired to enter the medical profession, but who previously felt excluded from doing so.
आज मेडिकल की पढ़ाई हिंदी में शुरू हो रही है। कुछ समय में इंजीनियरिंग की पढ़ाई भी हिंदी में शुरू होगी और देश भर में 8 भाषाओं में इंजीनियरिंग के अभ्यासक्रम का अनुवाद शुरू हो चुका है।
The ongoing experiments of adopting tribal language as a medium of instruction in several states in India is also a large step towards eliminating the language block in learning. The new India believes that language should not be a barrier, but instead a facilitator in acquiring knowledge. And the steps being taken to promote regional languages is allowing more of India's citizens to take advantage of the country's competitive education programs.
Moving on. The Taliban took over Afghanistan in August 2021 and has imposed policies severely restricting basic rights, particularly those of women and girls. Following bans by the Taliban-led administration on women attending universities or working for humanitarian aid groups, a female educator has expressed disappointment and has urged the international community to provide continued support and draw attention to their plight. We have a report.
The Taliban regime has ordered yet another diktat that will push Afghan women into the dark ages again. The all-male interim government ordered all foreign and domestic non-governmental groups in Afghanistan to suspend employing women, as some female employees did not wear the Islamic headscarf correctly. The ban was the latest restrictive move by Afghanistan's rulers against women's rights and freedoms. In the latest, Bakshi, a female educator in Afghanistan, said that she was disappointed following bans by the Taliban-led administration on women attending universities or working for humanitarian aid groups. Afghanistan's Taliban-run Higher Education Ministry on December 20 suspended access to universities by female students until further notice, a move which has drawn strong condemnation from the US, Britain and the United Nations.
متاسف هستم که طی امری که از طرف امارت اسلامی داده شده من بعد دیگر هیچ خانمی نمیتونه حاضر به بالاخره وظایف خود شوند و به عنوان یک بخشی از اجتماع بتونن فعالیت‌های اجتماعی خود را انجام بدن و این واقعا یکی از حالت‌هایی است که ناامید کننده هست. امروز زن افغان دیگر هیچ جایگاهی در اجتماع افغانی نداره.
It said the move was justified because some women had not adhered to the Taliban's interpretation of the Islamic dress code for women. Bakshi pleaded on the international community to keep aiding them and raising awareness of their plight.
زنان افغانستان فراموش نکنیم. زنان افغانستان بالاخره قشر نیستن که یک بار دیگه محکوم به محدودیت شوند، یک بار دیگه محکوم به زندانی بودن شوند، یک بار دیگه محکوم به اذیت بردن شوند. وقتی داد از حقوق بشر، حقوق زن میزنین، واقعا حمایت بکنید و زنان افغان را به باد فراموشی نسپارید.
Taliban decrees prohibit women from traveling unless accompanied by a male relative and require women's faces to be covered in public, including women's TV newscasters. No foreign government has so far recognized the Taliban's regime in Afghanistan. Due to sanctions that have significantly impeded banking, business and development and increased insecurity, poverty and isolation, the nation's assets have remained frozen. Taliban government should understand that a country can't survive in the 21st century by pursuing a retrogressive and ultra-conservative approach. The eventual outcome of suppressing the freedom and creativity of women will be the erosion of the Afghan society. In turn, the wrong message will be delivered to the world that the Afghan people are socially backward and can never live a normal life.
Now let's take a look at a few happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch. A boat carrying 185 Rohingya refugees has reached the shores of Aceh, Indonesia, one day after another boat of other 57 Rohingyas reached the province after spending nearly a month adrift at sea. Two other boats carrying a total of 230 Rohingya landed in Aceh last month, while Sri Lanka's Navy has rescued 104 Rohingya this month. The number of Rohingya leaving Bangladesh in boats this year has jumped more than five-fold from a year earlier to nearly 2,400, rights group estimate. It is not clear if the lifting of COVID restrictions in Southeast Asia, a favored destination, has led to the rush of people. Nearly 1 million Rohingya from Myanmar are living in crowded facilities in Muslim-majority Bangladesh, including tens of thousands who fled their home country after its military conducted a deadly crackdown in 2017. Wildlife photographers and nature lovers enjoy observing dozens of local and migratory birds at Egypt's canal city of Port. The activities are part of the city's first international festival for bird watching and photography held by Egypt's Tourism and Environment Ministry to support the environmental tourism sector in the country. At Ashtoom El Gamil Natural Reserve, nearly 200 wildlife enthusiasts and photographers participated in the festival, according to a statement by the Environment Ministry. Egypt is considered an important spot for migratory birds, with nearly 200 local and migratory species registered at Ashtoom El Gamil Natural Reserve only, the ministry added. Egypt's northern lakes and the Nile represent nearly 25% of the wetlands frequented by migratory birds in North Africa. After the long pandemic halt, Japanese firm All Nippon Airways have resumed business. The firm has resumed all domestic and international flights. ANA is working on promoting its business by collaborating with YouTubers and influencers. Kimono Mom is a famous Japanese influencer with a whopping subscriber base of 1.4 million on YouTube. ANA collaborated with her on a family trip for promotion. ANA takes care that traveling for and with children is easy. Tottori is located at West Japan seaside of Japanese archipelago. In the winter, it gets covered under a blanket of snow. Kurayoshi town keeps Edo-era's town scenery. White warehouse and red roof tile go well with clean river water. Mochi is a sticky rice cake and a popular traditional food in Japan. 12 colors mean Japanese ancient official cloth of imperial court lady. It wears 12 color clothes. Fresh crab is a quite popular seafood specialty in Japan. Tottori provides matsuba crab. This is most popular meal of winters. Tottori receives a lot of snow in winter. Blizzard experienced Tottori sand dune. 4 district seasons are represented by the Tottori sand dunes. Every season brings tourist satisfaction. ANA continues to develop aggressive promotion strategies like collaborating with famous influencers and personalities. It is through continuous efforts like these that ANA is on the upward slope of development. This is a famous ramen museum in Japan's Yokohama city. Established in the year 1994, it exhibits the history and evolution of ramen. Ramen noodles have always played an important role in boosting tourism in Yokohama. Ramen noodles were invented as a fusion meal of Japan and China after Japan became an open economy in 1859. Later, different versions of ramen started originating in different areas of Japan. There is a strong bond between ramen and Yokohama. After 1899, when Japanese authorities barred foreign settlements, authorities recommended the Chinese to become chefs. This accelerated ramen culture in Japan. 1910, first ramen expertise restaurant Rai Rai Ken launched. 13 Chinese cookers from Yokohama supported it. In most busy season, 3,000 customers visit to eat ramen. Visitors can try to produce ramen noodle using bamboo to extend ingredient mixed and mature wheat flour, cutting it to ramen size. That atmosphere reminds adult Japanese historical memory. Based on its long and interesting history, Yokohama preserves memory of not only its food culture but social traditions as well. Almost every sector of Gilgit-Baltistan, which is unlawfully occupied by Pakistan, lies in ruins as a result of decades of Islamabad's misrule. The inhabitants of Gilgit-Baltistan are compelled to protest because they are left with no choice but to face the extreme weather without basic necessities. the local indigenous population is struggling as a result of illegitimate taxation, budget cuts, an erratic supply of food grains, and an ongoing load shedding.
For more than 7 decades, residents of Gilgit-Baltistan have lived in their own land as second-class citizens. The reason is genuine. Along with misgoverning the area, Pakistan and its proxies also make sure that its residents are not treated with even the barest forms of decency. The decades-long persecution has infuriated the locals, who are now battling for their rights on the streets almost every day.
वफाकी हुकूमत ने हमारे बजट और फंडिंग में कटौती की है, जिसकी वजह से गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में फजाई बहरान पैदा हो चुका है। 22 घंटे की लोड शेडिंग है। अगर हल नहीं हुआ तो हम आवाम में जाकर अवामी एक्शन कमेटी के साथ शामिल होकर तहरीक का हिस्सा बनेंगे। जब जासीर वाले उठ खड़े हुए तो वजीर आला को समझ में आ गया कि अगर मैं अवाम की नुमाइंदगी नहीं करूंगा, अवाम की हुकूक की बात नहीं करूंगा, तो इख्तिदार से उतार कर दम लेंगे।
The people of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have time and again raised their voices against the stepmotherly treatment meted out to them. Fed up with the administration's apathetic attitude, locals have now warned it of dire consequences.
कि हमने असेंबली में ये किया है, असेंबली में वो किया है, लेकिन हमें उसका आउटपुट नजर नहीं आता है। अगर वो किया था, ये किया था, तो आज अवाम इस सर्दी में सरापे एहतजाज क्यों है? हम उनसे सवाल करते हैं, वो यहाँ आके तकारीर करके चले जाते हैं, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकल हल तलाश करने के लिए अवाम आपसे गुजारिश करते हैं कि उनके बहकावे में न आए। वो तो उसके तनख्वाहें लेने के लिए यहाँ आके अवामी एक्शन कमेटी के सामने भी ये चीजें बयान करके जाते हैं।
It is not just about discriminated strata of society, but this region has been reeling under discrimination, deprivation, and all forms of human rights violations for the past several decades. Islamabad, which makes tall claims of ownership over the region, has done a bare minimum for the region to keep its argument floating in the international community. But it has plundered the region indiscriminately of its land and resources to fill its coffers in Islamabad and please its army generals, who hold virtual control over the decision-making bodies of Pakistan.
Moving on to the cultural section of the show. India is a diverse, multi-ethnic country where the people of all faiths celebrate their festivals and cultures. Recently, the country has been immersed in this year's Christmas festivities. To commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ, the festival was observed with great pomp and splendor. Have a look. Churches were decked up with beautiful lights and carols energized the whole atmosphere as the country stood festooned in the special colors of Christmas. Days before the festival, markets were packed with variety of wreaths, banners, stockings, Christmas trees, colored baubles, fairy lights, stars, Santa Claus hats, and many more decorative items. Fondly called the season of gifts, people flocked the marketplaces to do shopping for their loved ones. This year, the festival was celebrated in its full glory after the 2-year pandemic break, with markets buzzing with people.
Excuse me, please. We enjoyed a lot, and the decorations are really good, and we did not expect this actually. We are coming from KK Nagar. Last time we wanted to come, but unfortunately due to COVID we could not come. But this time, thankfully, God's grace, we were able to come here.
Christmas is the time for merrymaking, when people get together to spend quality time with their family and exchange gifts. To mark the festival, churches all over the country held a special midnight mass, which was mostly attended by people of the Christian community. Men and women decked up in new clothes took part in the mass prayer session and sung choirs in praise of Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ has come into the world to save the sinners. Our God is a savior, like a small baby born in the world. He lived as a man, he died for the sins, he gave the salvation. This is the Christmas. Christ means is the savior. Mass means worshipping the Lord.
And when you participate in all these events, you feel more joy, you feel more happiness. And this will last not only for this Sunday, but you can remember it till the next Christmas. So this happiness will go on for the 1 year.
To pump up the Christmas spirit, cake exhibitions were also organized across different cities of the country. The exhibitions featured dozens of cakes that were based on a wide variety of themes like mythology, Ashoka's pillar, a train engine and others as well. At Puducherry's Zuka Bakery, pastry chefs curated a giant genie chocolate statue to mark the festival. Visitors were delighted to see such creativity and were happy to be a part of the exhibition after a long break amid the pandemic.
We have come here for the cake show and we have brought our cakes. Today they had holiday as well and they are enjoying and it's tremendous. It's beautiful. Everyone should come and watch this cake show and the efforts is really, we can see that efforts and how beautiful it has been done. A marvelous one. I have visited when I was a kid. I did not get time, but this time I have heard a lot of it and I have read in the news also, especially the train ones, a big cake which the kids are enjoying. So yeah, the kids will enjoy.
Observed as a religious and cultural celebration among billions of people around the world, Christmas is an annual festival that commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. As the festival comes to an end with the new year, it leaves people with several memories to cherish throughout their life. It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.